Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Thursday, May 6, 2021 Preservation Board meeting. It is 5:04, I believe, and we'll call the meeting to order and skip right down to the action items. The first certificate of appropriateness is Kieper, Mr. Kieper, Stephen, I believe.
Yes, hello, Joan.
Hi,
It's Kieper.
Oh, I see you now. You're in there. Okay. Welcome. Would you like to describe to the board what it is you want to do?
Sure. So I live right on the corner of 5 Mile Line Road and Whalen Road. We purchased a house last year. The interior and exterior of the house has been redone over the years. The yard, for the most part, has been left untouched. As you know, it's a very busy intersection, and I do have 2 little children, so there is a concern for them. Especially my younger one loves to go towards the road because he loves the cars and the big trucks that go by. So we would like to erect a 6-foot dog-eared fence along the 5 Mile and Whalen side up to where we have the little creek that runs through the back of the property. And then also, yep, right where your cursor is. And then also on the opposite side, which I did not draw, to the neighbor's side, the same thing. We would not put one through the back of the property, as there is natural vegetation for the most part, which is fine.
Okay.
Yep, so you can kind of see how I wrote it with a pencil there. That was the one that I submitted and showed to Jim Costello, kind of crude just drawing there.
I was there yesterday, as I'm sure your wife mentioned.
Yeah.
Nice conversation. And correct me if I didn't understand everything, but it's not blocking the creek. It's coming to the edge of where the culverts start.
Correct. Okay. So you can, I know it's kind of hard to tell from the survey map, but basically where I stopped the Whalen Road side, where that little line is, that's kind of where the creek is.
Okay,
there's
yeah.
like a,
Mm-hmm.
Yep, there's the culvert there, and there's like a concrete ledge. It would stop right there because we love that creek feature, and so I definitely would not want to put something in front of there.
All right, and then it goes over to the you said to the neighbors, to the property line, but that's at the behind the back. It's behind the end of the barn garage, right?
Yes. Yep. Yes.
And then coming up, it's hard to see on Zoom. Where is the line when you head toward 5 Mile Line?
Yeah. So coming off the front of the house, it comes off towards Whalen, and then it makes a cut like an angle there. Yeah. Uh-huh. And then straight all the way back. And then just on, so yep, all there. And then the opposite side behind the barn, and then between the barn and the house, just to enclose it.
Okay. And as I had said to your wife yesterday, I know Jim was looking into what the setbacks were.
Yes.
So we have to decide if, the way this is laid out here, if that meets whatever it is the town's requiring as far as where it's set back.
Right. Yes, I would have a surveyor come back just to make sure exactly where, so everything is within code.
Sure. And then the material will be cedar wood, right?
Pressure treated.
Okay.
Yes, that's just a sample picture of what it would look like. And then after it dries, I'll put some sort of stain on it to keep it nice looking.
Okay. And that's colorless stain, like it's not like that paint stain or something.
No.
Okay.
Well, colorless stain on cedar is not going to prohibit it from getting gray. Is that what you're trying to achieve? Cedar will get.
So the fence is not going to be cedar, it's going to be pressure treated.
Okay.
And so, yes, I know over time, sometimes the pressure treated will turn gray. But if you keep up with the staining and maintenance of it, it won't end up turning that gray.
Okay. And this would be the type of the shape, like the top would be the same as what we're looking at.
Correct.
Okay. All right. And are there any gates or anything in it?
It would just be, I would only have a gate between the barn and the house just for access. I wouldn't put any on the front or the whale inside.
Okay. And Jim, do we know what the requirements are as far as the setback from the road?
Yeah, and looking at his survey map, Joan, it looks like he's pretty close to where he needs to be. He's got a 20-foot setback from the front property line, which is great. He's also showing at least about 30 feet or so from the corner property for sight distance purposes. So I think he'll be okay. But Steve will probably work with you just to make sure everything's where it's supposed to be.
Of course.
And then the other comment I have, Steve, is that of course the decorative side has to be facing out to the road, and the support systems have to be facing inward to your property.
Yeah, that was my next comment. Okay. Does anybody have any questions?
Yeah, this is Tom. How close to Wayland Road is it?
The setback has to be approximately 15 feet from my property line.
Okay, and then it cuts across there and it terminates at the corner of the house. You said, and Jim, that you said that was 20 feet.
Well, it looks like it terminates, easterly towards the back of the barn.
No, in the front.
In the front.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, in the front. It'll be 20 feet from the property line, according to his.
What your wife had indicated yesterday is she thought that it was in line with where the chimney is. No, it's further.
Yeah, that's approximate until I have the surveyor come back for sure.
Right.
What I drew there is just approximate, so it might be back a little bit further than that line. It depends on where exactly the property line is, and then 20 feet off there.
Okay, but
it might set back a little bit further than the front corner of the house.
But it sounds like you would be willing to comply with whatever the regulations are. So
yeah, absolutely.
Zoning wouldn't have to get into. Okay, I understand.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else? Anybody? We ready to make a motion? Somebody want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Steve, was that Steve?
Yes.
Yes, okay. A second?
I second.
Mira? And any further conversation? All in favor? And why don't you call out your name? It's a little hard to see everybody. All in favor? Don?
Yeah.
Mira?
Yeah.
Steve?
Yes.
Tom?
Aye.
And Mike? Mike?
Mike, you're muted.
I think he just made a motion to adjourn.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Mike, are
Yes.
you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Are you in favor?
Yes.
Okay, and I vote aye, so no nays, it carries. I think it'll work out really well. I like your swing set too.
Yes.
I also, your wife and I, just as an aside, we discussed the barn, the barn garage, and she was telling me about the roof and the concrete. And I suggested that you touch base with Kathy Canower, who's listening, because there's a lot of help for what to do with barns around here. Kathy's a town historian in the library, in the offices in the library. And your wife was wondering also, his wife was wondering whether, Kathy, do you have any pictures of that property? Kathy can't hear me, I guess. I don't know.
I'm trying. I don't know off the top of my head.
Okay.
We might have a house history written up on it. I know who lived in the house originally, but I don't know how much we have through the years. But if he comes into the history room during the open hours, he can take a look at whatever we've got.
Okay.
Great, I
Kathy?
would love to.
Kathy, wasn't that a mud house?
No, that's,
No.
Well, it's stucco. don't
I
think
thought it was mud underneath and it got stuccoed over.
I don't know off the top of my head.
That's the rumor I heard. You know, the mud house across from me?
Yes,
I heard that that one and the one on this corner and this one got stuccoed over sometime.
we do have a second one in town, but it's on Qualtrough Road.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard it was,
Yeah.
it'd be interesting to see if this one was too.
Yeah, I'm not sure unless you pulled the stucco off, how you'd find out.
Well,
But,
maybe there's, yeah.
yeah, well, we can take a look at the records and see what's there.
The other thing, Kathy, is I was telling Mrs. Kieper that there's also a lot of barn information at the Landmark Society. So if they come in, you could maybe give them Cynthia's contact information or something.
I can do that.
Thank you.
Steve,
All
do me a
right.
favor
Sounds
and
like
give me a
you,
call
are
when,
enjoying the property. We're glad you're taking care of it.
Thank you so much.
And just contact Jim for, when you can start and the permits and the setbacks and everything.
yeah, you really
Okay.
you won't need a permit, but I would like you to contact me and I'll go out with you and make sure that you meet all your setback requirements.
Okay, sounds great. Thanks,
Thank
Jim.
you. Okay.
Okay. Good luck.
All right, thank you, everybody. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Okay, the next application is Heather Housel for 2146 5 Mile Line. And Heather is, I'm trying to locate her here in the photos. I don't see her.
You do see your application, right?
I do, but can she hear me? Kathy?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, I can't see you, but you can hear me.
Yes,
So
me.
can you describe to the committee what you'd like to do, the board?
Essentially, we're building I believe it's about roughly 10 by 12 kind of pergola garden structure. Would be on the back, not quite corner of my house, kind of where that X is. Just something right there. And in the future, we would plan to grow some like wisteria up it. Essentially, it's roughly like that. And that I think has the measurements of the timber.
I was there yesterday, and it didn't appear that anybody was home. But is that where the 4 pegs are in the ground in the backyard?
Yes, and someone came and looked at those and they said that they would need to come over a couple feet so that they would be 10 feet from the side. So they'll be moved slightly over, but won't be any farther back.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
And what is the material of the pergola?
That is a rough cut, I believe it's a pine.
Okay,
I don't know if it was treated. My dad had bought, he knows a guy at a sawmill, so he had him cut lumber that he has for it,
okay.
if allowable.
And is it going to be finished, is there going to be a finish put on it, or is it going to be natural because you're putting the wisteria on it?
I would probably get a paint to protect it. I don't know how sturdy with time and wetness and moisture that would be. So give it a protective element, but it wouldn't be any, probably be a very subtle color of that. I know they make stained paint as well. So I haven't picked that option out yet, because it's still
Okay.
kind of an idea.
Jim, do we have to, excuse me, do we have to know that in advance?
I think that you could approve the pergola and then have her submit something via email for board review.
Okay, that's what I was thinking, but, all right, does anybody have any questions?
I don't, but I'll make a motion.
Okay, this is,
And then
Don.
Joan, tell me if this is too much. I make a motion, we approve this and we allow her, if she's going to stain or paint it white, beige, or cream color, that she doesn't have to come back. She doesn't have to submit color samples to us. Or if she has any other indication of colors she might want, I'll throw them in the motion. But I mean, if it's basic colors that people paint these things, like I said, white, beige, tan.
Right.
Pardon me? Did someone say another color? But if you're okay with that, Joan, that would be in my motion.
Well, I mean, everybody, yes, but does anybody
Well-
does anybody have an objection to that, or?
I mean, I just meant contradicted what, you and Jim just said.
Right,
But why not add a brown color, for example? I mean, that's a earth color and people paint them brown. I mean,
Okay,
limited to just light colors.
okay,
I just picked colors I'd seen, but what
right, I know what you mean.
clue, is earth tones a good thing, Mira?
I'm sorry?
Is earth tones a good way to describe the colors?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
then I amend my motion to include earth tones.
yeah, because
Okay,
you probably don't want it to see blue or
Or
purple.
red, or
Yeah.
orange.
No worries about those colors.
all right, anybody have a second?
I second.
There is a second, any further conversation? Okay, Don, you want to vote first?
Yes.
Mira? Yes. Tom?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
And he was a yes. And Mike?
Yes.
And I'm a yes. So there are no nays and the motion carries. So good luck. It looks like you've done a lot there already.
Yes, this house is one of those never-ending projects, but
Yeah.
we love it. So thank you so much.
Heather,
Oh, you're welcome.
Heather, have you
All right,
applied for
thank
your
you for
building
coming
permit
in.
yet?
Yes, we had applied for that around the same time I had contacted you, so they came and looked at it.
Okay, very good. I'll let them know that the board approved your pergola and they'll start processing your application for you.
Okay, great, thank you.
Yep.
Thanks for coming.
All right, have a good one.
Yep. Bye-bye. Okay, moving on to Ms. Carbone on 20, my screen is popping up and down, but hang on a minute. Whatever, I'm looking for the address, but,
I'm sorry about my handwriting.
oh no, that's all right.
You never thought you'd become famous for it, did you?
Uh,
Before we get started, Joan, I believe that Mike Pignano may have to abstain from this application.
Okay,
As
Mike, did you hear that?
Do I have to leave the room?
No, you don't. No, you don't have to leave the room, but you cannot participate in the
Yeah, that's fine.
discussion.
Okay, would you explain to the board what you would like to do?
So what we would like to do is place the wood that was used on the porch that is the entrance to what will be the salon, using AZEC instead of the wood that's there now, and also would like to extend the porch 2 feet so that we could have, basically there's kind of wasted space in between the wheelchair ramp and the actual porch. So I would just like to bump out, if you can see on beyond where that railing is. It would be 2 feet further out that way. I think there's drawings there from my architect, and everything else would remain the same except for the fact that instead of a railing, it would be a built-in bench. And that's the railing, but everything footprint wise, it would end up being 12 by 12. And then the stairs would remain in the same place. It would just be a built-in bench instead of a railing and bumped out. And then also, since we're doing it, I would also like to replace the entrance to the break room instead of the wood that's there now with the AZAC as well. And the color that I would like to do is called brownstone. It's just a kind of grayish beige.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions?
Is AZAC a Trex-like material?
Yes, it is under, I think it might be under Trex, but I think it's called Timber Tech, maybe. I looked at so many, now I can't remember which one. But it is a composite, so you never have to stain it. You don't have to fuss with it. It's durable and lasts forever, hopefully.
Thank you.
Sam, what color is it going to finally be stained?
It's kind of a grayish beige.
So it's kind of more like this one than
It's
this
really,
one?
I wish I had a picture. It's very clean looking. It looks like the deck now, only more beige.
Okay.
So if you look at the pictures of the existing,
Yeah.
it
There.
looks like that, only a little more beige.
All right.
Okay. Anything else?
And obviously much clean, like see how it's just painted right now?
Right, yeah.
This
yeah.
is a composite wood that it's not really, it's got texture to it, but it's all just the one color for the most part.
And Jim, she can bring it out the 2 feet, I think was the,
Yeah, she should have no problem as long as she can meet all the setbacks, and it appears that that does meet setback as it is now,
Okay.
so it shouldn't be a problem.
Good.
I'll take a look at that with you just to make sure before you apply for your building permit.
okay. All right. Do we have a motion on this one?
So moved.
Tom, thank you. Somebody want to second it? Don?
I'll second. Steve.
Okay. Oh, Steve. Second.
Yep.
Okay. Any further conversation? All right. Don, vote, please.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Mira? Yes. Tom?
Yes.
Mike is abstaining, and Steve,
Yes.
and I'm a yes, Joan. Okay, it carries with one abstention. And thank you so much. It looks like it's gonna look great.
I can't wait. I'm so excited for everything. Thank you so
Sounds
much.
good. All right, it sounds like you're gonna do it quickly.
I do want to get it done quickly if we can get the materials quickly.
Yeah, yeah. And that's hard now with lumber.
Yep.
Yeah, but, well, we look forward to seeing it done.
Thank you.
All right, thanks for coming in.
Absolutely. Have a good night.
Yep. Okay, I think we have one more, which is Daisy Flour Mill and paint, right? I shouldn't say Daisy Flour Mill, the Rock Dog Lounge, where the Daisy Flour Mill used to be. Let's see, where is?
Wendy's here.
Yeah, I know she's there. She's not on my screen. That's
Oh,
why.
sorry.
Okay, Wendy, you want to explain what this part of what you're doing this time around on the application?
Yeah. Yes. So I'm just going to watch the screen that you're showing, Tom. So the first thing is the paint for the exterior of the building. I've provided the paint chips there, just the entire building white. with black trim. Just pretty simple. And from my research, it looks like it could actually be the original color scheme, which we love because that's kind of our brand, the white with black trim.
All right. Anybody have any questions? Do we know what year that was?
1969? No.
Not exactly.
It's the early 1900s. You can tell by the car. And
Right,
also,
yeah.
that talks about the post office that was in that area. And that's about when those small hamlet post offices were around.
If I remember correctly, I think it's 1909 for some reason. I saw some note.
That sounds familiar. I didn't write that down, but that sounds right. So not original because it would have been, I mean, it was built in 48? Yeah. So.
And Kathy, just out of curiosity, we don't have any pictures from then?
Couldn't find any.
Yeah. Okay.
Kathy?
There aren't any pictures from that long ago. And my guess is that when it was first built, it wasn't painted at all.
Oh,
Right,
It was a
true.
that's- I was
utility
gonna say,
building. I doubt that they wasted the time and energy
Right,
painting
that's
it.
what
That's
I.
true.
But the shape of the building looks different.
I think it's not like this is like that would be Blossom Road there, and there's the back, and then there's a deck off of that little inlet right there. There's a deck. There's little steps that go down, and then there's the deck that comes off of the basement. But I think it looks the same to me. I hear you. It looks different because it's so white.
Yeah, right.
But when I first saw that picture, Tom, too, I was like, huh, that's not this. It looks different. But when I looked at it long and hard and looked at pictures of the current, it looks the same.
Okay.
It's just weird being so white, which I think it's going to be beautiful back white again. And then the other thing was the sign, which that's the current sign. We want to use the same people that made that sign. Tom gave me the name. I don't have it right in front of me, but and just change it to a white sign with black writing. Simple, simple.
Okay. Yeah, Jim and I did a tour there, with you, and I think you have some really great ideas. So I hope it goes smoothly.
Me too. Me too. Me too. So the sign, and then if you can scroll down a little bit, if you can see in this picture, I know it is hard to see because it's dark, but above, like in the second floor up there, there's a piece of equipment that's causing that beam to pull away from the wall. Your cursor was on the beam over there on the left a second ago. Jim, right there.
Right there.
It's pulling away the beams and the joist. It's pulling away from the joist. The beam is pulling from the joist, yeah. And so we'd like to remove that piece of equipment up there. It's an old, obviously old, but it's historic, defunct printing press that wouldn't be possible for us to revive. We're happy to donate it if it needs, if you deem that it should go somewhere and be on display, but it needs to come out or the building's gonna fall down eventually, the fire marshal said. We're not sure why it's even up there. It doesn't look that like there's a place enough to stand up there and operate it, and it looks like it was really hard to put up there. So I don't know why it's there, but
Joan and I can attest to the fact that it
Yeah.
is stressing the joist and the
It
second.
was very scary. I
There's
can't
another
believe they were-
another piece of equipment on the other part of the building,
Yeah.
which should come down
there's
as well.
two pieces. Yeah, there's two pieces of equipment. I just have the one picture. It's on the other side of that piece of equipment. And that's the second floor. It's the rafters above the second floor. I'm surprised that the fire marshal ever approved guests being in that second story. It's dangerous.
Jim, is this is on the application because we're including that in the motion. It's not the town board deciding it.
It's actually nobody deciding. This board doesn't have jurisdiction over interior modifications. I think that Wendy's just trying to cover all bases because she is aware of the fact that the state was supportive of maintaining the system that carried the wheat up to the top of the building. And she's just trying to be careful not to step on any toes, I think, more than anything else.
I would say unequivocally, it's got to come out of there.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
mean, it was pretty, I was shocked when I saw it.
Can it be taken apart and to get it down?
It would have to
That
be.
is what the contractor said. He's like, if I have to take it out of there one piece at a time, I will.
He
So,
probably will have to.
mhm.
Yeah, I would think so too. I can't
Yeah.
imagine.
Yeah.
You know, getting that way.
And it looks like it's made of cast iron, so it will be heavy.
Right.
So,
Well, if anyone has any thoughts on its usefulness, share them with Jim and we can talk about it, but we don't actually control something on the interior, so,
okay.
but it would be nice to,
Joan, with the board's permission, when you make a decision, I would probably reference the fact that she's asked for your support in removing it, if nothing else. Even though there's no jurisdiction, we can still make mention of it just to memorialize the action.
okay. All right. Anybody have questions or going back to the paint and the sign? No, okay. All right, so, who would like to make the motion?
Well, before we go on, we still got some things to talk
There's-
about.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
The
Go ahead.
deck, the deck is in need of repair. We want to use the same materials that are currently there. We just want to repair it.
Okay,
We don't want to change the color. I mean, actually, I take that back. The skirting around and the stairs would likely be white. I haven't fully decided that. It's either gonna be black or white, just however it works best with the trim. The pergola is not gonna change. It would stay its natural pretty wood. But the skirting around and some of the wood and the decking needs to be repaired.
okay.
But
That's it.
generally, the color will stay
The color will stay brown.
brown.
No, if we're gonna paint the building white with black trim, the stairs and the skirting around I would think would really need to match the building, and it's in
Okay.
really ill repair, so it needs a coat of paint anyway. The brown is all chipping and worn. Some of the wood pieces need to be replaced, but it would probably be either white or black, just depending on when we sit down and decide what pieces of trim are black and what should be white, and wear and tear. Black might make the most sense.
Are you looking to do the decking as black as well?
No, the decking is composite, so it will stay beige.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I
Okay,
don't replace the whole deck. It's really in pretty good shape. It's the stairs and the skirting and the support underneath it that needs shimming up. But the railing's in great shape. It's all in really good shape. It's just the stairs and the skirting and underneath.
is there more, Jim?
Yeah, we're all set. And there's one more. We want to talk a little bit about the trees in the front of the building.
Right,
So the inspector feels that they're dangerous. If we can remove them completely, probably not a bad idea. Or we could try just trimming them down. One of them is leaning towards the mill. They're old, they're not taken care of. They need a lot of love. So we're not exactly sure, what to do yet, but we want to at least make the request that they're cut down, like considerably trimmed back.
and that would be all of them that were there.
Yeah, there's 5 total. 2 of them look really old. and leaning the two bigger ones. But, you know, I think it makes sense. They're so close to the building structure as well that they're all going to end up being a problem over the years.
Right. They are very,
They're so close to it.
Yeah, they're too,
right. Yeah, they didn't look healthy when I was there.
Yeah, and there's plenty of gorgeous trees all around the property, just not right up against it.
Right. Okay.
Plus in that photograph, were they even in there?
Say that again, Don.
In the photograph that we just saw, were those trees even in there? I don't think so.
No, they were not.
Oh, and now from the 19th.
Oh, from the original. Oh,
Yeah, I don't even think they were there.
no.
This tree's further on down the
They were
road.
totally different.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
So,
yeah, that's a
Yeah, I
deciduous tree
wouldn't
there.
think it would be good to leave them there.
Yeah.
I had a question on the picture of the deck. It looks like there's an old griststone sitting to the right of the deck.
yeah, right there.
It is.
Oh, yeah.
What is that?
It's a
It's the
griststone.
griststone. So
That's
my
like
question
saying
is,
something in another language. Qu'est-ce que c'est ça? I don't know what that is.
would that be something you'd be preserving or displaying or something as part of the old mill?
Sure. I'm not sure what a griststone is.
You want to
That would
keep
be
it.
one of two that was used to grind the wheat into flour.
Oh,
It would have been
Mhm.
mounted horizontally, not vertically like it's standing.
okay.
And
Sure.
then,
And if
It's
you
got-
need some
it's-
ideas of how to set them up to look neat, there's the entrance into High Falls on
Downtown,
State Street.
yeah.
Okay.
They've done quite a few different things with the stones.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. We don't want to discard anything like that that's historic. No way.
good.
Wendy, the next time you come to the town hall, we have one outside the main entrance here, which we've put on a horizontal stand, so you get a chance to see that. They are quite
Okay.
valuable. They're in great demand. There aren't a lot of them out there anymore. If they're truly historic, they are in great demand.
Okay.
Okay.
So they might look pretty like as an aesthetic piece in the landscaping or something like that.
No question.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, maybe we should, if nobody has any questions, let's go back up to the top, Jim, and so we make sure we don't forget something.
Yep.
And then,
Yeah, the two things are really the exterior paint, the deck, or three things, and the trees.
right. And then we're gonna make note that we're in support of removing the printing press.
Yeah.
And, the deck will be black or white depending upon, you know, when you get the building painted.
Yeah.
And then we discussed the grist mill and Kathy will help you with that. But does anybody, want to make this motion?
do we need separate motions or one total will do?
Jim?
Well, it depends on, if you're going to approve everything, you can do it under one motion. If you're going to break things out, then you should do it under separate.
Okay. So is everyone comfortable approving each item? Or is somebody not happy with one particular item?
I'm happy with all of them.
I'm good.
As am I.
All right, so let's do it all in one motion then. Who would like the honor of this lengthy motion?
I move to accept the,
Well, we gotta make the motion.
oh, you gotta write something up?
Yep,
Oh,
so
that's-
number one would be the paint.
Okay. I move that we accept the paint as displayed in the picture,
Okay,
black and white.
white with black trim, right?
Black building, white trim.
No, white
No.
building,
No,
black
white building, black
Oh, I'm
trim.
sorry.
Yeah. And the second item, Jim, if you could move it down a little bit, please.
Certainly.
The second item is the sign.
Is that what the color of the sign's gonna be?
No, it's gonna be black and
Fine.
it's gonna be the same design, the same shape and everything, but it's gonna be white with black trim, right?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Sure.
And I put the logo in there, and we want to do it the same way Gatherings did, where we do our logo and then it says at the Daisy Flower Mill.
oh, nice, good, that's a nice touch.
Yeah.
All right, then number 3 is the deck, right?
Mhm.
That's a little wordier. The deck will be, the stairs and the skirting will be replaced or repaired, depending on something, like, or you're just replacing them,
Yeah, just depending on how
right?
much, how much it needs to be
Sure.
repaired.
The deck will be black and white or white and black, depending on how it looks with the building.
Yeah, I'm thinking black.
Right. And the composite will remain the beige color that it is.
Yeah.
Right. And then the 2 other things are the support. We're in favor of the printing press coming down and trying to donate it to somebody. We're in favor of the grist mill, and then we are in agreement that the trees should all come down.
Yes.
Okay,
Joan,
so did we
one
miss
thing-
anything? What, Jim?
One thing on the deck, did you say it could be either black on white or white on black?
Yes, I said either or, depending
Okay.
upon how it looks with the building, and I
Yep.
think Wendy's thinking it will be black, but that'll give her a little leeway to
Yep.
decide.
Okay.
Okay,
Before we go on, Wendy, the trees that are coming down in front, is there any intent to do any type of landscaping or do something out there? It's going to be pretty barren out there once they come down.
Yeah, I honestly, I'd like it to be just grass right there
Okay.
on that side of the building. If anything, I know there are some beds, like flower beds around the building already. We want to clean those up and plant flowers,
Okay,
but no plans right now to do anything other than sod.
very good.
and Kathy, wouldn't you agree that the simpler the landscaping, the more in line with the history of the building, the time period?
Right, actually, early buildings, they didn't have foundation plantings. That was kind of a 20th century thing that happened.
Right.
Yeah.
Because if you remember our application on years ago on 5 Mile Line and Whalen,
Yep.
where the creek is and the tree came down, that house, I don't remember the name of it, but we had a hard time with the state because some people wanted to put in a lot of plantings and they didn't consider that appropriate for the designation. So I think, Wendy, the simpler the better, actually.
Okay.
You know, that's probably a good idea.
Okay.
All right, Jim, you got all that, sir?
Got it.
Okay. All right. Everybody ready to vote?
Oh, we need a second, I think.
Well, we didn't get a first, did we? Oh, I'm
Mike
sorry.
made the motion, but
I
we haven't
meant
gotten a
start the
second.
Process, if everybody's finished with their discussion. All right,
Yeah.
so,
Mike moved it. We just-
Mike moved it. Anybody want a second?
I second it.
Don seconding it. Any further conversation? Okay. I vote yes. Tom?
Yes,
You can't vote, Wendy, sorry. John?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
And Mike?
Yes,
Mira?
Yes,
Okay. All right. All in favor is unanimous, and wow, you got a lot of work ahead of you here just with this stuff.
Indeed, so much work.
So when's the opening date?
I don't know. We're hoping for October or November.
Okay. Are you ready to close yet?
No, we still have a lot of hoops to jump through for closing. Yeah, we just received like all of the materials that we need from the sellers. So we've just started our 120-day period before closing. So we've got a little ways to go.
All righty. Thank you for coming in again, and good luck.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate you all.
Wendy, will you call me tomorrow when you get a chance?
Yeah, absolutely.
Great. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
All right, going back to the minutes of the April 1st meeting. Anybody have any corrections, comments? Did Jim spell everything right? I've had some eye surgery, so I can say that you could count on me to go over those with a fine-tooth comb, but did anybody find some other?
I didn't see anything.
Okay, thank you, Tom. You can't see this on the TV, on the screen, but I only have one lens in my place, and the other one's being done next week, so I'm a little cross-eyed here. Okay, so anybody want to make a motion?
So moved.
Okay.
Second,
Who's the second?
Mike.
Mike, okay. Any further conversation? And let's just say aye altogether. Aye, 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 aye. Any opposed? No, okay, good. Motion carries. I see nothing here.
Right.
Anything else that we need to do at the moment? Jim, you have any comments?
We don't have anything else. We do have our next meeting on June 3rd. I have not received any applications or information for you at this point in time. But we'll keep you posted.
And the July meeting, where is that tied into 4th of July?
I thought we had, let me just bear with me a second here.
I thought it was July 17th or something.
Did we move it?
No, our meeting, you're right. Our meeting normally would be on the 1st of July. I don't think we moved it. I think we kept it where it is.
All right. And is anybody, what are people thinking about that? Are they going to be here, or do we have to do it before or the next week or whatever?
I think we're here.
Okay. And there's still time to tell us. I'm just putting it out there since time seems to go so fast. All right, well, as of now, let's leave it for July 1st then. Okay?
Yes, and if we have to modify that date, I will certainly make you aware of that long in advance of that meeting. So we'd have to let the public know that as well. So we'd have to know that well in advance.
Yep. Okay. Anything else anybody has? Thank you all for hanging in there. Zoom. All right.
Thank you.
Who's got what, Jim?
I said thank you all for attending and being efficient and getting through this.
Okay. And somebody got a motion? Mike?
I move to adjourn. The
Second.
highlight of the night.
Don, you can second it? Okay.
Yep.
Okay, all in favor, I'm sure is aye.
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 Aye, and we are adjourned.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, folks.
Thanks, everybody.